Hey everyone, welcome back to the Gong Show. I know you guys have only been watching for 5:30 to come, let's be honest.
That's right, it's all about KJ.
It is, and look who we have here. KJ.
How's it going?
How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing excellent. Beautiful day out here on my porch, sunny Florida.
Is it 90 degrees there like it is here? Hot, humid, terrible outside?
Yes, it's disgusting.
Well, wonderful. Great to hear.
I know, we're happy for you.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
All right, so you have something to talk to us about today. It's big. It's been in the news a lot, of course. I mean, if you have a TV and watch the news, read the news at all, you've seen it out there.
Right.
Anyone has.
It's a big story right now.
Talk to us about what you have to say, your perspective. I think George Moss talked a little bit about it on Monday. But what's going on in your head? What do you have to share with us today?
Well, I think for me, this kind of hits home in some ways because before I did the music for about, almost 10 years, I was an inner city I don't know, say youth pastor, youth minister, whatever you want to call it. So kids like Trayvon, that I see a lot of my old youth group in that type of kid. You know what I'm saying? A kid that may or may not be misunderstood, may be profiled a certain way, and so if my heart feels a certain way, I can't help but be a little biased because I worked with kids like that. Especially being from Florida. That's the other thing that probably why this hits home a little bit more. I was born and raised in Florida, grew up in the Tampa area. I lived down here in Fort Myers for, 10 plus years, 15 years? Maybe it's longer than that. I don't know. Who's keeping track? Anyway, the point is, this whole thing, I wrote a tweet the other day that basically said, the Casey Anthony, Trayvon Martin, Zimmerman trial makes me embarrassed to be from Florida. And I don't mean that necessarily one way or another. I just mean when there's tragedy and it hits home close to you, and it doesn't seem to be like justice was served, whatever that would mean. It makes me a little embarrassed to be here. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that I make that opinion hesitantly because I know that there is a lot of facts on both sides of the story. Some people would say that Zimmerman was completely justified in what he did, that he was self-defense. I tend to look at it and go, why did he get out of his car in the first place? He was told not to. Had he not gotten out of the car, this would have just happened and we wouldn't even be having this discussion right now. One thing that really kind of bothered me in a lot of ways is that I put this out there, what I felt, and multiple people were like, we should just move on already. This has been way too much stuff about it. I'm like, dude, this just happened like a day ago. The Bible does say that we're supposed to mourn with those who mourn, and whatever you feel about the case, the reality is a child's life is gone.
Yeah.
And Jesus himself said that a bird doesn't fall without his Father knowing, that our own hairs are numbered on our head, that we're that precious to God. So whether you think Zimmerman was justified or not, a teenage boy is dead. And that, to me, especially an inner city teenage boy who I tried to reach for I dedicated 10 to 15 years of my life to reaching kids like that. I can't help but feel a certain way about it. I can't also help but feel a little irritated how people are making this into a racial issue.
Yeah.
That, yes, we are divided by race. Yes, race is a factor in everything. There's no question. I think if you thought we live in a colorblind society or just because Obama is our president that we're post-racial, that's not the case by any means. And so I wish I had one definitive answer on how I feel. If there's anything I just feel, I feel a loss. Because I think a child's life, a kid's life is precious to God. Simple as that. They would pick right now to cut my grass too. It's not even my grass. You're cutting the grass across the street, across the canal. Anyway, it is Florida. It is the summertime. Everyone's got to cut the grass.
That's right.
Anyway, I don't even know if I have necessarily a perfect opinion about it, but I do feel those that are going to the extreme on both sides, I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's right. I've seen both opinions. I've seen some really racist stuff on both sides, white and black and Hispanic. Those that are super conservative and those that are super liberal, I've seen the worst come out of people.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, but it's almost like if you stomp your foot on the ground, you watch all the dust come up. And so for a lot of people, this is an excuse to be and act a certain way. I think as a believer in Christ, there's the main thing we can do, at least tangibly. The only thing I really feel I can do tangibly is pray.
Yeah.
Pray for the situation and pray for those of his family who must be going through a lot right now.
Yeah, and sorry, go ahead.
And I think it's just a good point that you focus on. There's a death here, and there's been a loss, and it's been a young life that was a loss. So I think that's what we should just keep in mind, is that we should mourn for not only the family, but a loss of life, and that he's a brother of ours, regardless if we're related to him by blood. We're related to him by blood through Christ, and so that's the important thing to keep in mind. So thanks for that insight, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess what is coming up next? We have a few questions in the chat for you, KJ. Can you explain your street team thing, and where are you at next that we can see you?
Okay, we just launched a street team. For those that are interested, the Team Tweezy. For those that know the street team, it does not mean you have to go onto the streets and scream about KJ as loud as you can. Some of that really just involves just getting the word out. So that might be something as simple as retweeting something we put up or posting something to your Facebook. It's really just more the aspect of just saying, can you help us promote what God is doing through the music? And details of that, specific details will come along. But before we can even reveal those details, we just really need people on board for Team Tweezy. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Big deal.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess from our chat, it sounds like you'll have a lot of people on board. So
No doubt.
sounds awesome.
And,
All right.
and said, where am I going next? Was that the other question?
Yeah. Where are you at next? What's going on next in your life?
Okay, actually, this weekend I will be in Cedarville, Ohio, for about 5 days for Camp Electric, and then I'm heading. Where am I going from there? I'm going to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. But they can always get all my tour dates. They're right there, either at kj52.com or they are at on my Facebook page, which is KJ52.
Awesome. All right, and Camp Electric. Now, we Skyped with you before at a camp, got to hear some rappers in the making.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Is Camp Electric going to be something like that? Can we hope for some awesome goodness?
Yeah, I'm going to probably try to do another Tweezy Tuesday next Tuesday, but it'll be an all freestyle one again.
Oh,
Nice.
man, wonderful.
That was awesome.
We loved that. We definitely did. All right, well, hey, thanks so much for joining us today, talking about this issue. I mean, it definitely relates to some stuff we were talking about earlier, too, and your brothers and sisters in Christ, and when stuff comes up and we lose them, and being there and for the families, praying for them.
For all the involved.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, thanks so much again for joining us.
All righty, thank you guys.
Yep. All right, so again, next Tuesday, we'll have Tweezy Tuesday again, probably around 5:30, but of course we'll update you on the times. Have a great Wednesday. Have a great rest of the week. We'll be here. We'll be back. So thanks for joining the Gong Show.
Thank you.
Peace out.